Hola, comadres. Happy Tuesday. Happy day after Labor Day. First up, I know not everyone had the day off for Labor Day. Some of you were still out there doing what you do to make this world a better place. I just wanted to take this time to thank everybody for your role in helping to keep our community going, helping to keep us together, whether you are working in business, in education, in the service industry, in health and wellness, whatever it is you do, know that it makes a difference. Whether you're keeping a place clean or you're keeping people motivated or you're doing things that just can't stop, your labor and your value is appreciated. I know that sometimes it seems like the jobs that get off on Labor Day are not the people who are doing a lot of the hard labor. I know one of my family members was commenting they still have to pick up trash. The trash truck still has to go around on Labor Day. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody for the work that they do. If you're working from home, that's work. If you're raising a family, that's the 24/7 job that you never get a break from. So whatever it is that you do, you are contributing. Every one of us is contributing to the value around us. We're either adding to it or we're subtracting from it. And I believe that as comadres, we are like the force for good. We're the force for change within our families and within our community. I spend Labor Day, here doing some things that I like to do. A little bit of gardening, a little bit of sewing. I did not do the labor I needed to do called laundry. Yeah, I just decided I would put that off for another day because there's still things to wear. I think about all the things that my family, my ancestors did. Like my grandpa was a carpenter. My mom learned all the trades from him. He did all kinds of work. My mom could hang up wallpaper perfectly and match the pattern. In our home, she put down floors. She did linoleum. She put up wallpaper. And I remember being amazed as a child watching my mom on top of the garage roof, okay? Putting a new roof on the garage. Yeah, that was my mom. She was like an OG in knowing all the trades. I consider my mom was a poderosa before I even knew what a poderosa was. So we look at all the ways that we impact others. And I was thinking, like, what's my topic for today? Like today I wanted to talk about just the work that we do, investing in ourselves and investing in our families. I always kind of laugh on Labor Day because I was in labor on Labor Day. My firstborn, my son Jose, was born on Labor Day, and it was not an easy day. As any of us have had a child, no one said, oh, it was so easy, I would do it again tomorrow. But I really believe that the pain of pregnancy and childbirth, it's like we get that reward when we see our baby. I truly believe, and I might have shared this before on a Pep Talk, I truly believe that biologically our body makes some kind of amnesia hormone that kicks in after we give birth. Maybe when the placenta comes out, that amnesia hormone comes down. Because if we were to remember specifically all the pain and suffering we went through, we would never sign up again. It's sort of like, I believe it's a hormone created to preserve the species. Because I can remember more fully, more specifically, slamming my thumb in the car door in 4th grade. And this fingernail has never grown back right. So it always looks short and it always looks weird because I slammed it in the car door before church. So I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade. We're going into church in the morning and somehow I get my thumb slammed in the door. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. I really thought that while we were in church, people in the other pews could hear it going boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. It was terrible. I remember so much about it. And that was a really, really long time ago. And I would have to go into the office and they would take the bandage off and I had to like stick it in a jar of alcohol. It was hideous, okay? Hideous. And I still remember how horrible that was. And I have a more specific cognitive and sensory memory of that than I do of labor. I have a more specific memory of this hurt thumb than I do because I really believe there's some amnesia hormone that God created, Mother Nature created, that would just filter down because we would look at our baby and it was like some of that would get erased. we wouldn't have that same memory. So like, yeah, my son, I had, I always say, sometimes I joke, I have one regular, one unleaded. Yeah, my son was born like the old-fashioned way, and my daughter had ended up needing an emergency C-section. And neither one of those was easy by a stretch. The childbirth, you got a lot of the pain before and still pain after, right? The C-section, you had some pain before, but it was worse later. There's no easy way. When we look at the work that we do as women, as mothers, it's not easy. I don't know anyone that has it easy. Giving birth to a child is one of the biggest, most amazing, and hardest things that we'll ever do. And I could look at, we've given birth to more than children. Whether or not you've given birth yourself, you have given birth to ideas, thoughts, beliefs. You have been part of other people starting to build their self-esteem. When I think of our role as women in society, we have to first believe in ourselves and then be ready to encourage others to believe in themselves. And as a mother, again, we're biologically programmed for that organism to survive, right? I always joke around that, when you're pregnant, you basically have a parasite taking up space in your body, using up all your resources. I was doing some reading the other day on pregnancy, and it was sharing that scientifically our bodies have to make 50% more blood to sustain the growing creature. So, no wonder you're tired when you're pregnant. You're like, not just that you're growing another organism, but all of your resources are being used. And so I think that biologically, we're programmed to give up everything we need. Just, hey, let's get some oxygen. Let's drink some water. Let's try to eat, because all the power and all the resources goes into that child that we're building and creating. And so as we get into what we call the fourth trimester, which is those months after you give birth, your body is still trying to create resources for you while, simultaneously creating for your child. And so I think that because our children are so helpless, they wouldn't survive a minute without us. We're biologically programmed to continue believing that I need to put all my needs aside so they have what they need. And there has to come a time in our life when we come up, we step up, and we take responsibility for our own well-being, because we're really, really good at taking care of other people's well-being, right? As moms, we will give up anything and everything. We give up sleep. We give up our side of the bed. We give up resources all the time. We're there, we're ready. And what I believe that we're being called to really thrive as women is that we start standing up for ourselves and we start making sure we have what we need. We inventory everybody's needs, right? We make sure everyone has what they need. And sometimes last on the list, there's mom. Whether you're a mom, you're a tia, you're a comadre, you're an aunt, whoever you are, I believe that we are biologically programmed to serve others. When we're going to do the very best is when we start turning that script a little bit and we learn to serve ourselves. We learn to take care of ourselves. We learn to value ourselves. What we invest in ourselves is going to develop exponentially around us. If I'm living the martyr life, like, oh my God, my life is so hard. I have to do everything for everybody. No one ever helps me. Poor me. Thanks for noticing me. Like Eeyore, right? Some of us we get in those Eeyore moods, right? Because we are trying to do so much, but we're going to lighten up. We're going to brighten up, and we're going to find what we need. Eeyore just stays around being humble and mumbling, right? Winnie the Pooh knows how to go look for what he needs, right? Winnie the Pooh, he's out there. He's looking for that honey. He's going to make sure, even if he gets himself stuck trying to get that honey, he's making sure that he gets fed. Well, that's what I believe we're called to do as women, as mothers, as parts of the community. We have to feed ourselves. We have to feed ourselves the right ingredients. Then you got Tigger, who's all over the place, right? I never knew I was going into this Winnie the Pooh discussion here. Tigger's all over the place with a lot of energy. Well, being healthy is the part that's going to give us energy to continue forward. So when we invest in ourselves, it's like we're stocking up some of our Tigger energy. We need the wisdom. You know, we need the wisdom of the owl to look over things and to look at situations and to realize what is going to make a difference. And I think we have to look from a higher view. And I think of the owl as the one character who could fly all around and see everything that's going on. So, you know, we're all in our own zone. And it's like, I choose, you know, who I'm going to be, how I'm going to be. Rabbit is the one that's all organized, right? Rabbit is organized, taking care of things, inventorying the carrots, watching the garden. It takes some of that for all of us, right? I want us to be in touch with our feelings, but I want us to have the viewpoint that the more I care for myself, the more I lift myself up, the more my whole family and my whole world will raise and engage. And again, like I said, I never know where I'm going. When I start with a pep talk, who knew I was going to talk about Winnie the Pooh? But when I feel empowered, I feel seen, heard, valued, that's when I'm going to connect and I'm going to have something to share. Like all of you that watch the pep talks, sometimes people, one will hit them a certain way and they'll send me an email or they'll leave a message, and you know, it's like planting. It's like I'm just trying to throw out some hope, throw out some encouragement. And if some of it sticks with you, wonderful. That's what I want. I'm encouraged by each one of you. And I hope that you are encouraged by what I'm sharing here on the Pep Talks. We're going in, I think we're on either week 24 or 25 of the Pep Talks. And it's just been a fun process. And I feel like we have so much more to talk about. We have so much more to cover. But I wanted to come in today and say thank you for your work in this world. And keep in mind, 100%, you are working whether there's a paycheck with your name on it or not. There is a paycheck. There's a paycheck in heaven for all that you do. There's a paycheck in the hearts of your children, in the hearts of those that you connect with. Every one of us, you know, we have a role. Sometimes people say, well, I don't work anymore, I'm retired. Retired people are doing work on another level. You know, when I look at the things that I do, like sometimes people are asking me like, well, what about you? And I'm like, I love the work I'm doing. I don't feel like it's work. Like some days, no, I don't feel like doing a budget, or I don't feel like working on a grant proposal. But those things that we keep doing are things we do in order to thrive. Just like I don't feel like exercising, or I don't feel like cooking something, but I'm going to do those things because they're going to help me to thrive. So think about it today. What is it for you that you want to do that's going to fill your spirit, that's going to lift you up, that's going to help you feel like the powerful and loving and cared for person you are? And the first place that's going to start is with you. So is there something creative that would lift your spirit? Is there someone you want to see, talk to, connect with? What is it for you today that would give you a lift and a light? Because you are a lift and a light for a lot of people. So keep plugging in to find where that lift and that light is for you. So thanks for joining me today on our Pep Talk. We'll be on Zoom tomorrow on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central. If you want to come on and just talk about what's up. One of the things that I do is try to find some creative things that I can stay engaged in. And I'm going to see if I can move my phone to just show you a couple of the drawings that I made and turned into paintings. Of course, I was inspired by things that I saw online, but I love Loteria. And so I made my own version of El Sol y la Luna. So those are hanging above me in my living room. So there you go. You can get a view of them. I kind of like had some inspiration looking at someone else's drawings, and these were actually tattoo designs. So I made them my own. So that's just something that's fun to me. I enjoy painting. I enjoy drawing, and got to keep some creativity going. So have a good day. Take care. And remember, it all starts with you. Take care, comadres.